Greetings, ninja. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more Naruto. Konoha story, the Steam Ninja Scrolls manga. A story that was adapted into Boruto, but I need to actually catch up with Boruto anime at some point. I got up with the manga, sure. Anime is a different story. But this takes more from the actual novel that it's based on than the anime from what I can tell. Focusing on the daughter of Kurenai and Azuma, who is honestly getting more attention than Azuma ever did. We're focusing on Mirai's adventures with both Kakashi as well as Guy, two retired old dogs who still know a few tricks. Though I'm still not clear on what exactly this story is about. Just a simple side mission, or is there something more to it? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Naruto, Konoha's Story, the Steam Ninja Scrolls manga, Chapter 2. S-rank mission. Okay, cool. Honestly, this is something I would have loved to have seen more just for the Naruto series in general. More side story. Because don't get me wrong, Boruto is a cool enough character. But there are other characters who are cool too. Would love to see stories centered around Tenten, Guy, and his relationship with Metal Lee. Maybe finding out that Metal is the son of Rock Lee and Tenten. Just saying. More stuff that centers around Sarada. She was a pretty cool character. She had several chapters devoted to her. I actually saw a little bit of the Chocho versus Sarada fight in the anime, and that was pretty cool. More of that. Maybe get to know how Sai and Ino got together. Shoji and his wife. What's Kiba up to? Isn't Shino a teacher at the academy or something? What about a Konohamaru side story? Like, seriously. Again, I like Boruto well enough, but dude, Mitsuki, his whole situation is a question. But regardless, this is the story. Let's jump on in. Alright, we pick up in a town? Just not used to just straight up towns in this series. I said that even with the Sasuke side story. It's just like, it's weird not being in an actual ninja village. We see some guys. I guess they have some loot. A voice calls in from the door, banging on it. The guy says, "Who's there?" The voice says, "Hey bro, it's me. Let me in." The guy goes to the door, says, "What took you so long?" Opens it, and bam! Guy comes flying at the one dude as if he was thrown on top of him. They both topple back into some boxes, taking a few of the other guys inside off guard. And there's Mirai coming in, kunai in hand, saying, "Found you." One of the guys goes rushing at her with a sword. She easily blocks, kicks the guy back onto his back. Two of the other guys go charging in, one with a knife, one with a kunai. Mirai jumps in the air, kicks the one dude who had a kunai, but that exposes her back. So the guy tries to shank her with the knife, but she easily evades, then manages to get behind the guy and just elbow him right in the back, knocking him down. Ooh, some good moves. Mirai analyzes what's on the table, activates her communicator, and says, Sarutobi Mirai here. I've secured the bandits' hideout. Oh, they're bandits. Yes, the stolen goods are here, but she doesn't notice one of the guys getting up. Oh, he knows jutsu. But Mirai realizes the dude is up to something and reacts. Ooh, throwing one of the trench knives that just barely misses his head. And jeez, cracking the wall behind the dude, naturally freaking him out. But Mirai thinks to himself, disappointed, saying, "I'm still not there yet. I'm still not good at controlling my chakra." Later, we see the bandits being led out by Leaf Shinobi, with one of them saying, "Wow, nice work, Mirai. We're bringing in an entire ring of disgraced shinobi bandits thanks to you." Oh, they're disgraced shinobi. Couldn't make the cut even as grunts, huh? Mirai says, "Oh gosh, it's nothing really." The guy says, "I'd expect nothing less from Azuma's daughter. The apple doesn't far fall from the tree." That's interesting, though. Azuma was dead before she was even born, though she really doesn't know anything about her father aside from stories. The two Leaf Shinobi then discuss amongst themselves, saying, Azuma was an incredible shinobi. Sure was, not to mention Kurenai. Why, I bet you could become Hokage one day. After all, you're the third Hokage's granddaughter. But Mirai nervously laughed. Yeah, geez, all these people she didn't really know before her heyday. The third was dead before she was born. Azuma was dead before she was born. Kurenai, I doubt she really did much shinobi work when Mirai was coming up. The only one she really has anything to go off of is probably Konohamaru. And I don't really know how close they even are. Mirai thinks to herself, third Hokage's granddaughter, and Sarutobi Azuma's daughter. That's me, Sarutobi Mirai. I'm always full of anxiety. Maybe I'm just at that age, though I've been like this since I was born. How old is she even now? Feels like everyone's looking at me and sees my father or my grandfather. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Is that why I became a shinobi? Like a leaf being carried by the wind. Everyone says my dad was a great person, but I only know him as a face in a photograph. I can relate to that. It's weird having to ask someone about a parent that you've never even met. It's a very awkward feeling. I can sympathize with that. There's always having secondhand information of someone who you share blood with, but you know nothing about. Alright, I guess we pick up the next morning. Mirai's alarm clock going off. She hits it, wakes up, gets out of bed. I guess that's Kurenai calling out to her, saying, Mirai, are you done getting ready yet? We see Mirai in the bathroom, adjusting her headband and fixing up her hair, saying, oh, I'm almost done. That's everything. She goes over to Azuma's picture and says, I'm heading out, Dad. Actually, this feels kind of familiar. Like, it almost feels like we saw this in the very last chapter of Naruto. You see Kurenai sweeping the way, saying, you're running late. Aren't you supposed to be protecting Lord 7th today? Mirai says, nope, I'm attending the previous Hokage, so it's fine if I'm late. Kurenai says, you mean Kakashi? Mirai says, and Guy too. Kurenai questions, and you're escorting them alone, Mirai? Yeah, this is definitely from the last chapter of Naruto, huh? Okay, yeah, this definitely shouldn't have been in Boruto then. Mirai puts on her shoes, saying, sure am. What, don't tell me you're worried about me. Kurenai says, well, yes, only one of you to guard both of them? It's true. There should usually at least be 2 people on detail for something like this. But very typical for like previous presidents or something like that. They'd still have some form of guard detail. Mirai says, how long are you going to treat me like a child, Mom? I was assigned to this mission because I can handle it. Kurenai questions, well, if that's the case, did you forget anything? Mirai puts on her backpack, saying, no, I've got everything. Kurenai says, you never act like this when Shikamaru is around. Mirai blushes, saying, what? That's not true. Anyway, I won't be back for 2 or 3 days. Kurenai says, be careful, okay? Mirai heads out the door, saying, I will. See you. Mirai walks through the Leaf Village. Overhears some people saying, lessons finish early today. My kids always go off and play right after. It's nice to live in peaceful times. Yeah, this was a super peaceful period too, wasn't it? The 5 Kage Summit doesn't mean anything to children either. That's true. Yeah, this was before the summit happened. Mirai thinks to herself, the 5 Kage Summit. Oh. We have a flashback to her talking with Shikamaru, where Mirai questions, a different assignment on such an important day? Shikamaru says yes. Lord 6 is conducting a primary inspection on the border of the land of fire and the land of steam, where the 2 countries are jointly developing land. He needs a bodyguard. Mirai, I want you to do it. Mirai says, I'm usually the 7th guard. On that day of all days, you want me protecting the former Hokage instead? Shikamaru tells her, the mission might sound dull at first, but the 7th requested you specifically for this task. Mirai is shocked. Really? He did? But Master, why would he? Because he has faith in you, kid. Shikamaru tells her, it means that this is an important mission. Will you accept it? Mirai pauses, thinks about it, then tells him, of course, if anything happens, I will put my life on the line to defend the former. But before she can finish, Shikamaru says, check. They're playing shogi. Mirai's taken off guard, saying, huh? Shikamaru tells her, your shogi skills are as bad as ever. Not much like his dad. Then again, didn't Azuma lose to Shikamaru all the time? Yeah. Mirai puts her face in her palm and says, come on. And seeing that, Shikamaru suddenly has a glimpse of Azuma, like father, like daughter. Shikamaru chuckles and says, that's another way you're just like your father. Mirai questions, my father? Shikamaru then asks her, that reminds me, have you been able to use it yet? Mirai says, well, she pulls out the trench knives that Azuma used to have. She says, not like you can, Master Shikamaru. It's still difficult for me. Shikamaru tells her, I think they missed the words, because it says, there's need to rush it. It's good to know that it wasn't me being like, me no grammar good. So, there's no need to rush it. You share your father's chakra. There's no reason you won't be able to master his chakra blade. Mirai says, right. I'll do my best. Shikamaru smiles and then says, Mirai, if the Konoha shinobi were a shogi piece, which piece do you think they would be? Mirai questions, a shogi piece? Starts to move the pieces on the board saying, the Naringen promoted Silver General. They're capable of both offense and defense, and in the critical moment, they can sacrifice themselves to protect the Gyoku, or king. Shikamaru then asks, in that case, do you understand who the king is? Mirai questions and then says, well, wouldn't that be the Hokage? Shikamaru chuckles. Long ago I was naive and thought that too. Mirai asks, then who is it? Shikamaru simply smiles and then gets up and tells her, when the time is right, you'll figure it out for yourself. And I hope by doing this mission, you'll find an answer to what's troubling you. Mirai is taken off guard by that statement, saying, do I look like I'm troubled? Shikamaru laughs to himself again, saying, did you think I wouldn't notice? Mirai blushes a bit. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I didn't think she would look up to Shikamaru this much. Honestly, even reading Boruto, I've never really seen Mirai like that. So it's just like, this relationship is like completely catching me off guard. Not to say that it's bad. Shikamaru tells her, but whatever it is, it's probably something you need to figure out for yourself. Mirai looks a little sullen, saying, yes, sir. And as Shikamaru leaves, he says, I'm glad you agreed to the mission. I'm counting on you. With Mirai simply saying, thank you, Master Shikamaru. In present day, as Mirai walks towards her mission, she thinks to herself, something about this mission is clearly different than any I've done before. A good shinobi must be able to read the hidden meaning behind words. Lord Seventh wouldn't personally assign me to a mission without any important reason. Master Shikamaru seemed to know what that reason was. The mission might be something a little above an S-rank one. She swallows, feeling a little bit tense about the situation. You then think, the sixth who I've sworn to protect comes across as absent-minded, but he holds a distinguished title as the former Hokage. He must be under constant threat from all sides, like terrorists, like tons of terrorists. Why, I bet those terrorist types are hunting him 365 days a year. She starts to daydream about Kakashi fighting off hordes of attackers. She then thinks, that's where I, Sarutobi Mirai, come in. She imagines herself swooping into Kakashi's aid, fighting off the attackers left, right, and center. She thinks, I'll be disguised as his attendant, and one of them will ask, who are you? And she'll reveal herself dramatically. Oh, what an active imagination on this kid. I love it. And she thinks, what's this? That's what this is about, right, Lord Seven? She then starts talking out loud and just daydreaming. As long as I'm alive, no one will so much as lay a finger on those two. You, Mirai, are the only one who can protect the former Hokage. Believe it. Yes, darn right I am. Oh my god. This kid, I actually love her. Everyone in the whole village is going to flip when they see what I achieve. I'll live up to Lord Seventh's expectation, only for us to pick up with Kakashi wheeling Guy in his wheelchair through the forest with Mirai following. Guy saying, say, the breeze sure feels great, right, Kakashi? They're kind of like an old married couple, honestly. Kakashi says, yeah, I'm really glad we got nice weather. A bird chirps in the distance and Guy hears it saying, oh, a bird's call. Kakashi says, yeah, Shrek, I'd say. Guy simply says, oh yeah? Kakashi says, they're known for impaling their prey, right? Oh, I think Guy says that they're known for impaling their prey. Kakashi then says, that reminds me of the time you drove a wooden log into the ground and started doing one-handed push-ups on top of it. The guy turns and says, I think I remember doing that, yeah. Kakashi then says, and then your hand slipped and your stomach slammed into the log and then you puked. Oh god. Ever since then, every time I see a Shrek, I picture you folding over on top of that log. What a story. Oh man. Guy is taken off guard by that, saying, don't picture that, wipe it from your memory. Mirai is kind of mortified, saying, how can they be so relaxed? Can we afford such a leisurely pace when we only have 2 or 3 days for the mission? They're not some old married couple out on a walk. Don't say that. That's essentially what they are. But speaking of which, who should be coming up the trail but an old married couple out on a walk, seemingly. But Mirai shifts in front of Guy and Kakashi walking in front. She observes the old couple. She looks at the walking stick, I guess, in the old man's hand, saying, that cane. The man's legs look steady. Is it for hiking then? Wait, Maybe there's a hidden sword inside? Mirai goes to her pocket, readying her knife. They pass by the couple. The couple nods to them. Kakashi and Guy nod back. Mirai then gets behind Kakashi and Guy, ready for anything to happen, but nothing does. The old couple simply walk past. Mirai has a mortified look on her face as Kakashi asks, is something wrong? That's a scary look on your face. Mirai calms herself a little, saying, and Kakashi immediately knows what's on her mind, saying, don't tell me you suspected that elderly couple of being shinobi. Mirai is shocked. Having been called out, Mirai says as if, I thought that maybe some terrorists might leap out from those bushes. Kakashi simply tells her, that's not really something that happens often. Mirai simply laughs and says, right. And then she thinks to herself, I can't believe I did that. As she sulks behind the two. They arrive in a nearby village, and Mirai asks, wait, what? We're spending the night here? Sorry, but will we be alright keeping this pace? We're still in the land of fire. Kakashi turns to her and says, huh? Yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. But Mirai thinks to herself, no, I don't think this is fine. Kakashi then tells her, look, over there, see? The land of steam is just on the other side of that mountain. Oh, yeah, Kakashi points to a nearby mountain, and Mirai catches sight of it. But then she has a memory, thinking back to some record she dug up, thinking, the land of steam, the homeland of the man who killed my father. What? This is the place where Hidan came from? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he comes from the village hidden in hot water. Yugakure. Right, okay. Are we really gonna be dealing with people who worship Jashin? Oh, dude, dealing with more of the cult? Or maybe it's not gonna be like that? I can't imagine that it's not, though. God, wouldn't it be wild if she ended up dealing with more followers of Jashin? But let me just say, Kakashi and Guy, they really seem like an old married couple. It is fascinating. Kakashi never really had kids, though. Guy's only barely been interested in Kakashi, which is still kind of what takes me off guard when it comes to Lee having a son. I'd figured if anything he'd just take on a student just like Guy took him in, but from what I've heard, Metal Lee is Rock Lee's son. That's where the rumors of her and Rock Lee and Tenten getting together come from. But I'm pretty sure we've seen Mirai in Boruto, so I doubt she dies on this mission or anything. Either she's making a mountain out of a molehill, or something's about to go down here, and I'm all for it. Not to mention, Shimaru has given her Azuma's trench knives and everything, so this would be the trial by combat to help her blossom on the battlefield. Because, yeah, it's a time of peace. There's no fighting between the ninja villages and all that after everything that's gone on. But I doubt there's not anybody looking to start some shit, you know? Even during Boruto, there were still, like, bandit, thieves, robbers, thugs, what have you. I think the ninja villages are less about assassination and more about they're a protection service. They're brought in to bring down outlaws, go on bounty hunting missions, stuff like that. I'm interested. I'm really vibing with Mirai. Like, she is a fascinating character, which is all the more reason for me to be like, dang, wish we actually got her around more often. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are you thinking about Mirai? Is she growing on you like she is on me? Is this, like, wildly different from the Boruto storyline? Let me know in the comment. But until next time, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on the next chapter. And until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'll see you in the next one. Later! Bye-bye!